It is a year that will tell how the rest of the decade will be. It means that whatever foundation that you lay in this 2021, whether in your emotional and mental life, your career, your spirituality, your friendships, relationships, your finances, your health, and so on, it will affect the way 2022, 2023, and so on will go. Because 2020 was a very disruptive year, and we've heard that used all over the place. It was disruptive because no one saw it coming, or at least most people did not see it coming. It means that it disrupted the way of life. Everybody's lifestyle right now has changed. How we buy things, how we eat, how we shop, how we go out, how we interact, how we have baby showers, how we have parties and get-togethers. Everything has changed. Our culture has been severely affected. You would say I don't know whether it's for the good or not for the good, but it also means that the way people adapt to change has also been affected, right? Right now, our tolerance or our threshold for change is much higher because something like COVID-19, the way it just bamboozled everybody left, right, and center. Now it's almost like we are expecting anything to happen. We know that change is inevitable and it is a constant. 2020 taught us that. If we want to do well in 2021, as well as the coming years ahead, we must be able to thrive, not just survive. We can't just say, like the way everybody was talking about 2020, oh, I cannot wait for this year to be over. Let it just go and pass. 2020 was the longest year ever, and so on and so forth, because of all the different things that were happening. But we have to come into 2021 and the other years ahead with the right mindset. And that mindset is the mindset of thriving, not surviving. So that is why we are talking about how to thrive emotionally and mentally in 2021. Because, your mind is what controls everything else, your outlook, whatever it is that is in your mind or whatever dominates the what you focus on is how you will see. I mean, it's what will color your perspective for how you will see everything that happens in your life. If you get a promotion, you can see it as a burden or a blessing. If you have a baby, you can see it as a burden or a blessing, especially in 2021, right? If maybe you change jobs or you lose a job, your perspective, the way your mind has been shifted or shaped will determine how you see that circumstance, whether the circumstance is good or bad. That's why you must make it a point of, how would I put it, something that you must be intentional about in 2021, that you're going to thrive emotionally and mentally. Do we have any questions so far, or is there anything you want to ask me, or is there any comment that you want to make before I move along?
Yeah, I think the best thing is after everything, they cannot ask their questions.
Okay.
Yeah, there will be room for questions and answers.
Okay. Okay. So it looks like, okay. Oh, I see. I'm looking at people's comments now. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm able to see people's comments. All right. So moving along, there is like a mini formula that I sort of created. And if we can just get this as an acronym and think and keep it in our heads and see how to practicalize this acronym, it will help us greatly. And that acronym is CLEANSE. CLEANSE. In 2021, cleanse. And I will.
Can you spell it again?
CLEANSE. The same way.
Cleanse.
Yes, like cleanse, cleanser, wash,
Oh yeah.
to be clean. But it is cleanse because it's an active word. It's something that you have to do. You have to intentionally do it because it will not just fall on your lap. Something doesn't become clean just like that. It will not fall on your lap, right? So as an example, if you walk around and you don't have your bath for days, you are not clean, right? You have to be intentional about having a bath, or you have to be intentional about cleansing your face or cleansing your environment, your room, your bathroom, right? So that's one of the reasons why I chose this acronym CLEANSE. And now let's go. Who's ready? If you're ready, I want to see it in the comments.
Yeah, I'm ready.
CLEANSE? I want to see it. I want to see that you're ready. Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Please
so,
give this live a thumbs up, please.
Give it to me in the chat, please.
Yeah.
I want to see your comments as well as thumbs up for this live for sure. So I'm happy that you are ready. Yes. Number 1, C stands for close the gates.
Close what?
Close the gates.
Oh, okay.
Close the gates. Close the gates. Close the gates. And that gates is with an S. Close the gates. Close the gates. That is what C stands for. Close the gates. Yes, ma'am. Close the gates. Now, we have gates. We have gates into our minds. We're talking mental and emotions. We have gates, and those gates are our eyes. Those gates are our ears. What are you watching? What are you reading? What are you listening to? And it's not just about media. Who is in your ears? Who is talking to you? What kind of friends and associations are you making or having? What are the words they are speaking that has an impact in your life? If you have a friend whose lifestyle is not something you really want to emulate, best believe that you are already absorbing the way that she or he is thinking. Even if she's not advising you, even if you people are not having conversations about it, her lifestyle is influencing you. Part of your gate is the skin. Your skin is actually a physical gate, but think about it in the context of your mind. Your skin, the skin of your mind, has pores, and you can be influenced by people's lifestyle, the people around you, even if they are not saying anything directly to you. Now, let's talk about those direct gates that we know about, your eyes and your ears, the things that you are watching on TV, the things that you are watching and reading on social media, the way that people speak that you absorb and you think is fine, the images that you like, the images that you comment on, the images that you engage with, they are affecting your mind. They are affecting the way you think. They are affecting the way you view life. Very soon, everything will be okay to you. Something that was not okay to you before. Something that maybe, was a strictly black and white area for you. Now it becomes gray. At that point, you tend your judgment or your sense of right or wrong starts to gray out. You're not able to make sound decisions. Compromise becomes acceptable. We hear so many things. We listen to almost everything. We pick up so many things on the news, and I'm not against the news. We pick up so many things on social, and I'm not against social. But you need to close the gates. Our gates are so wide open. They are so wide open in chats. There are some chat groups you need to leave because they are not saying anything that will positively affect your life. They are not helping you in any way, and you are not even helping them in any way. I'm not saying that you should not have relationships where maybe you are the one pulling the person up. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying there has to be some form of positive interaction and connection, something that helps and increases the health of your mind and your emotions. Close the gates. Our gates are too wide open. We are listening to everything. We are watching everything. We are absorbing everything. We are allowing everything to influence us. And remember, as I said, your gates Part of your gates is also the skin of your mind. Things that are not said to you directly, but are being acted out with you or in your presence, and you are absorbing them. You are absorbing these things. And very soon, what used to be unacceptable to you now becomes acceptable. Close your gates. Sometimes also, because you have left your gates wide open, things that are not really consequential, or they do not have real importance in the grand scheme of things, like, oh, what this person is wearing, what this couple is doing, and co, or I'm looking for a name, when they're doing matchy, right? Or when maybe a person is doing a grand photo shoot to celebrate her 35th or her 40th birthday. All these things are nice, but the more you absorb them, they now become the picture of what you think is important. They affect your priorities, and priorities are what shape your life. They are the things that you give weight to. We have to be careful about our gates. We need to be observant and see what is it that we are letting into our gates. So that is number one. That is what C stands for. Close your gates. Number two, or L. L stands for love yourself. Love yourself. Priorities shape our life. That's very true. Love yourself. So this is the month of love. Everybody's talking about Valentine, but everybody's also talking about loving yourself. I'm glad you're learning. I want to give a different perspective to loving yourself. Have you taken a few personality tests? Have you ever, Bumi, for example, have you taken a personality test before? And have you taken a personality test recently, even in this year?
What's personality test, if I may ask?
Okay, so these are assessments. These are scientific assessments that help you grade or help you discover more about yourself. You will find that these assessments, you will answer a few questions, it will ask you about, it may set some scenarios, and you'll be like, oh, if you were in this scenario, what would you pick? If this was happening, how would you decide? What would you choose? Maybe does this appeal to you, or does that appeal to you? When you finish answering those questions, those personality tests, they now sum everything up together, and then they're able to say, this is the kind of person that you are. And these personality tests, there are a few examples. All you have to do is Google it, and there are really popular ones like 16personalities.com. 16, that is number 16, 16 personalities.com. There's also the DISC personality type. That's DISC. If you write that in capital and you just plug it into Google and say DISC personality type, you will learn some. There's also the Strengths Finder. There's something called a Strengths Finder by Gallup. He is a renowned, or was, I think he's late now, but he's a renowned management expert that proposed that people should leverage Strengths Finder, Strengths
Finder.
and Finder.
Okay.
He proposed that people should leverage on their strengths rather than their weaknesses. So rather than emphasize or try to change your weaknesses, yes, exactly, Strength Finder. You should leverage on your strength. The other example is 16personalities.com. Another one is DISC. Thank you very much. Another one is DISC. That is another type of personality grouping. My point is that how will you love yourself if you do not know yourself? If you haven't discovered what really makes you tick? Personalities, IES, actually. Maybe I should try and type. I don't know whether I'm not able to type.
Oh, I'll type it.
Okay. 16 personalities. Okay. when I type it, it doesn't show up on this thing. So it's with an
I'll
IE
change it.
instead of Y. Okay, so what was I saying? I was saying that the more you know yourself, the more you love yourself. When you find out that, okay, so really reading, that is reading physical books, doesn't really help me. I find that, oh, I'm always bored, but there's another way that I can learn. Maybe it's actually videos, or it's actually, I learn by hearing, or exactly, thank you. Or I learn by absorbing. I learned by being in the same environment and just absorbing the knowledge, right? The more you know yourself, the more you can leverage on yourself. Not only that, the more you can love yourself. That's the thing about thriving emotionally and mentally in 2021. You need to know more about yourself, and that will help you really love yourself. When you love yourself, there are some standards you will set for yourself and standards that will create boundaries. So it's not just anything that will happen that will shake you, or it's not even anything that you will allow into your space. It's not just anybody you will allow to speak into your life, because you know yourself, you love yourself, and so you're able to say, okay, this is not for me. These are my own strengths. These are my weaknesses. I'm aware of what helps me. I'm aware of what doesn't help me. So I will not allow this. I will not permit this into my space. I will limit maybe the amount of time or the amount of consumption that I make of a certain type of thing or a certain type of media. The point is, the more you know yourself, the more you're able to love yourself, and the more you're able to set the right boundaries. So L stands for love yourself. Are we doing good? We're doing good?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The next one is evolve. You are worth it. Evolve. E stands for evolve. And the point I'm making there is that you are worth the evolution. Evolve in 2021. Evolve. Be intentional about your growth. Thank you. Exactly. Be intentional about your growth in 2021. Be intentional about your personal.
You are what? Sorry, you are what in what? The evolve.
I said evolve. You are worth it. That is worth. W-O-R-T. Worth. You are worth it, because you are worth the development. You are worth the evolution. You are worth the growth. Thank you, ma'am. You are worth the growth. You are worth the evolution. Evolve. You are worth it in 2021. That means that you will make investments into yourself. If you need to pay for coaching, if you need to pay for a course, if you need to buy and read a book, yes, exactly. You are worth the development. If you need to sit down and learn at the feet of somebody, like be somebody's apprentice, or sit down and say, I will serve in your organization. I will solve a problem for you so that I can learn how you are doing something else. Evolve in 2021. Allow yourself, make the investment into yourself to grow in 2021. You are worth it. You know, the reason why E is after L, the reason why evolve is after love yourself, is because once you are growing in your awareness of who you are and you are starting to love yourself, you will know the areas that you need to grow in. You will know the areas. You'll be able to pinpoint and say, I need to get better at this particular thing. I need to grow. I need to expand my knowledge in this particular part, right? I need to increase, maybe I need to increase my knowledge. I need to increase my confidence in so and so and so. As an example, I know that I speak well, but I have made an investment in a speaking course that is going to start in 2021 because I want to get better. I want to get better at it. I want to grow. I want my confidence when I'm speaking. I want to be able to speak and people will clearly understand me, and I'll be able to deliver the message clearly. That's me. That's one of my own evolution goals for 2021. I want to grow in that part. So my point is grow, that is, evolve, because you are worth it in 2021. The next what's the word? The next letter in our acronym of cleanse is adapt. Adapt. That is what A stands for, adapt, because there's going to be so many other things that is, other things are going to happen in 2021. The storm is not over yet. I need to break it to you. The storm is not over yet. More things are going to happen in 2021. More things are going to happen, in 2022 and so on. But your ability to accept and manage your feelings through challenges and change, that is what you need. That ability, that adaptability, right? That you're able to successfully adapt to the daily life tasks, even in the face of any form of social disadvantage, or a condition that you're like, oh man, this was traumatic for me, or this bad thing happened, or a relative passed on, and I don't pray for that for anybody. But my point is, things are going to happen. Things that will be significant sources of stress will take place in 2021. There will be challenges, but you need to adapt. You need to adapt. You need to adapt because you are still going far. There's a part of the Bible that says, if you fail in the days of adversity, then your strength is small. That means that there is still so much ahead of you that you cannot afford to fail now. When I mean fail, I mean, yes, we fall down, but we get back up. That is that principle of adapting, being able to be malleable to things that are happening as they are happening, not being so rigid and just sticking with one way. You must adapt because you want to be epic. You want to succeed. There's so much that you need to do and to achieve in this year and in the years ahead. You must adapt because you need courage. When you are adaptable, when you are adapting to different situations, it gives you and fuels you with courage for the next fight, for the next storm that you are going to go through. You must adapt because you need self-compassion. Self-compassion. That is part of your adaptability toolkit. Self-compassion. When sometimes maybe you have set goals for yourself, or you have said, I will do this, but you did not do it at the time you said you were going to. You have to have mercy on yourself. A lot of us bash ourselves in our minds. We abuse ourselves. We make it even to ourselves. We don't extend that compassion. You know, if a friend came to you and said, hey, I wasn't able to do this, or hey, I'm a failure, I'm so terrible, you would say, baby, calm down, take it easy, you don't worry, you will do better next time. Those are the kind of things and the kind of advice you would give to your friend. That's the kind of comfort you will give to your friend. But when it comes to yourself, you don't extend that kind of compassion to yourself. You must be able to extend that kind of compassion to yourself. So now, how do you adapt? You adapt in your mind. You adapt in your mind and in your emotions by being aware of them. Being aware of your thoughts and saying to yourself, these things will not control me. Rather, I will control them. You know that you can control your feelings, right? Your thoughts actually control your feelings. And your thoughts are also influenced by the things that you have allowed into your gates. We talked about that a bit earlier. So it's like a chain reaction. What you allow into your gates affects your thoughts. Your thoughts tend to affect your feelings. So if, as an example, if you're afraid of, if maybe you are consistently feeding on news of COVID-19, how people are dying, how people are in the hospital, how people cannot breathe, people with pre-existing conditions, da 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 da. And then you continue to feed your mind with thoughts of how it's spreading and everybody needs to be extremely careful. You know, it can spread anything you touch, blah 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 blah. You are feeding your mind. Then you now have thoughts of fear. Those fearful thoughts are consuming you. Next thing you know, you will be afraid. You will have high anxiety. Those are your emotions. You will be afraid. You'll be afraid to go to the grocery store. You'll be afraid to go to the post office. You'll be afraid for your children to go to school or to come back, right? You will become paranoid. And it all started with what you allowed into your gates.
Mind. That's our mind.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. We have to be very careful. And so what I'm trying to say on the point of adaptability is that being aware and being able to do all the various steps, CLE, right? It will help you to be more adaptable to what is going on around you. So you're aware that these thoughts are consuming your mind. And so you say to yourself, no. You decide that you're going to feed on something else. You decide that you're going to determine your response, not a fearful response, but a response that is careful and responsible. So yes, you will wash your hands. Yes, you will mask up. Yes, you will cleanse and sanitize as you go out and as you come back in. But you will not allow yourself to be overtaken by paranoia. This is how you adapt. I just used one example, but the point is adaptability helps you. You know, that growing in your adaptability, it helps you to face any and everything that comes your way, right? With the right sound mind. The next letter is normalize. 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 And that is the power of habits. I'm going to talk about habits just briefly. But normalize means let something that you want to be a habit, let it now be a part of your daily life. When something is normal, it means that it is daily. It happens daily. Normalize. So what are some habits that you want to have daily? Yes. What are some habits that you want to have daily? Maybe a habit number one, which I always recommend to every single human being, regardless of whether you are facing any form of emotional trauma or mental, whatever, anything. The first habit I always recommend is journaling.
Journaling?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm learning.
No problem. That's why we're here. Normalize the habit of journaling. Writing out your thoughts, even if they are only 3 sentences every single day. Get a journal. Have a journal. In fact, me, I have journals for every single part of my life. I have journals for every single part of my life. I have a journal for when I am, I would say, in my prayer closet. I have a journal that I use every end of the day. And that is the particular habit I want to recommend to all of us. Being able to write out our thoughts, being able to express ourselves, not just about what happened that day, but how we felt about it every single day. Can you sit down for 10 minutes every day and journal? You will be so surprised when you look back. And you're not just journaling so that you'll be accumulating pages. No, you're journaling so that at the end of a month, you will go back and look at your journal. You can now see things that were challenges to you, how you were able to surmount them, the places where you grew, the things that you thought. When you're looking back, in fact, sometimes when people look back at their journals over years, months and years, they're like, wow, I have evolved. I have changed. The Funmi that was here in 2015 is different from the Funmi that I see in 2017. It's different from the Funmi that in 2020. I have changed. I've evolved. I've grown in some whatever way, in my mindset, in the way I react to challenges. Journaling helps you do that. Not only that, journaling is like opening the windows to your soul and allowing breeze, fresh air to pass. There are a lot of things that we don't need to say to other human beings. Say it to your journal. Did you get that? There are a lot of things we do not need to say to other human beings. Say it to your journal. Because there are some things that if you say to other human beings, they will be misconstrued, they will be misunderstood. It may cause fights. There are some things that if you say, you may not say it the right way. There are some things that some people just don't even need to know. But say it to your journal. Journaling is a major habit that I will just, say to any and everybody that is listening. You must normalize the habit of journaling. You must normalize the habit of journaling. The next habit that I want to recommend is what I call the eat, sleep, play, repeat. Eat, sleep, play, repeat kind of habit. It's a loop. You must get the right amount of nutrients and the right quality of food. It is a habit that must be normal in your life. The quality of food that you eat affects your brain and your mind health. It's not just ice cream that makes you happy. Sometimes you can eat vegetables and truthfully, the nutrients are helping your brain. It is a scientific fact. There are some types of fish that you eat that improves your mood. Did you know that? You must get the right quality and quantity of nutrients every day. Next in our eat, sleep, play matrix is sleep. You must get the right quality and quantity of sleep every day as much as you can. The doctors will recommend 7 hours a day.
Or 8 hours.
Well, right now it's 7 because they know that a lot of us live active lives. Sometimes you may not be able to get 7 straight hours. Sometimes maybe you get 5 hours depending on your schedule. You want to wake up early, you're attending to the kids, or you want to use that as your prayer or fellowship time with God. Whatever it is. Sometimes maybe you slept late because you were working on something and so on and so forth. Sometimes you may only get 5 hours. See how you can get 1 hour in between your day. Try. It is possible. It is possible. It is possible. This eat, sleep, play matrix is not something you should play with. Normalize eat, sleep, and play every day. Play. I say play because it activates hormones in your body. When I say play, anything that makes you laugh, anything that makes you happy, whether it's interacting with your kids, watching something, a small comedy clip, something that is clean and it'll make you laugh, or hanging out with your spouse, whether your wife or your husband, talking with some friends that make you laugh. Play in this sense is anything that gets you going, that makes you happy, that makes you smile. Sometimes it could be exercise. And in this sense, it could be dancing. You could just put on a track, music track, and you just dance and have some fun, even by yourself. That is still a part of playing. So eat, sleep, repeat. That is a major habit that you must and you should have. Okay, so just so that we're not going, I don't want to extend or drag this thing. I'm giving these 2 major habits. If you can even just make them habits every single day, the right quality of food, quality and quantity of food and nutrients, the right quality and quantity of sleep, the right quality and quantity of play in your life, and journaling, my darling, that will give you like one of the most significant effects in your mental and emotional health in 2021. Saturate is our S. Saturate. Saturate in this sense means soak yourself. Embed and overwhelm yourself with the things that you actually want to get into your mind. So in this case, please do not start doing the saturation if you have not, first of all, started with closing your gates. If you have not discovered more and more about yourself and you are now loving yourself. This thing flows from the beginning all the way to the end. Cleanse. You must follow this process. It will help because you will not choose the right kind of things to saturate yourself with if you have not yet done C or L. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Soak yourself in what you want to positively affect your mindset. Soak yourself, meaning let that be everything you see. Whether it is your DP or it is a picture on your wall, or it is your vision board, or it is your affirmation, or some words that you say to yourself, let it just be all over. And that is the saturation. Let it be all over. Let it be everything that you see. I mean, at the beginning of my day, I have an affirmation that pops up. When I look up at my calendar, there is a statement that I see there that fuels me, motivates me, gives me ginger to continue. When I look at my phone, there's a screensaver there saying something that pushes me, that fuels me, right? My point is, saturate your entire environment with what you actually want to feed on. You have to be intentional about it. You must be intentional about it so that you are now thoroughly soaked every day, thoroughly soaked in the right things that you want you want to actually dwell on, you want to feed on, you want to feast on the right kind of words, the right kind of images, the right kind of thinking. Saturate yourself. That also means saturate yourself in the environment of the right kind of people. People that will grow you, people that will challenge you, people that will not take mediocrity and averageness as a normal thing. People that will be able to say to your face and say, okay, you're making a mistake here, or you're going down the wrong path here. It's time for you to reevaluate or change or make some adjustments of some sort. People that will give you honest but loving feedback. Saturate yourself with the right kind of people and the right kind of words to feast on. Yep. I don't mean in the environment that you find yourself. I mean when you saturate yourself, it means that you are creating the kind of environment. So as an example, if maybe you are in a pool, you should be in a pool of pure water, not in a pool of polluted water. So my point is that whatever pool that you sink yourself in, make sure that it has been purified of the right, meaning it has the right kind of it's the right kind of ingredients. So when I say ingredients, I mean words, affirmations, images, people, because those are the things that will be absorbed through your gates, the ones we talked about earlier. Yeah. Lastly, E for enjoy. E for enjoy. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the everyday victories, those small wins, those tiny, tiny testimonies that you think to yourself. And I don't mean testimonies in a religious way, but I mean testimonies or wins and victories that you will say to yourself, In the past, I used to react and shout whenever my child would say this, but now I'm able to maybe control my reaction. I'm able to calmly reply her when she tells me so and so and so. I'm able to do this. That is a small victory that you are acknowledging. It's a small win that you're saying and celebrating. You're enjoying the process. You're enjoying this, your evolution. You're enjoying how you are progressing in 2021. Take everything little by little, step by step. Enjoy the process. And I am done.
Thank you so much. I really gained a lot. Do you have any question? Wow, this is fun. Hello, everyone. Do you have any questions? Bring on your questions. Like for the journal, like days ago, I was contemplating on something. Like I had a thought in me, but I noticed that something was telling me that I should write the thoughts down, but I didn't write it. So I said, okay, maybe when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to do it. But the way the thought came to my mind, I couldn't grab it again. So it's a lesson for me. I need to get a journal. I've
Yes.
learned something now.
Yes,
I need
please.
to get, and affirmations too are good. We need to give good affirmations to ourselves every morning, every day.
You're welcome, everyone. Yeah.
So do you have any questions? Yeah,
please
I'm listening.
don't forget this flow. Don't forget this flow. Cleanse. CLEANSE.
Yeah, I'm still going to listen to this.
Everything.
Yes. I'm still going to listen to it again.
Okay. So you close your gates to everything that does not serve, that does not help you, that does not take you to the right future. You need to really know what is affecting your mindset, you know. Close your gates. And your gates, like I said, is sometimes just being in the presence and interacting with people that they are not reflecting where you want to be, right? And then love yourself. So it means you have to know yourself first. Take some personality tests. Understand why you do the things you do. What makes you tick? What is important to you? What are your values? So understand yourself first. That will help you love yourself fully. Okay. When you love yourself fully, you will have more boundaries. Okay, I see a question here.
Sorry, before you ask the question, the personality course, are they free online or we have to pay for it?
Personality tests, yes, they are free.
The test, sorry.
Yes. So all you have to do is just Google, just type free personality test. Free personality test. That's all. I promise you they are free. So we're talking about and then I just going over, you know, the E there, which was evolve. Yes, and that also speaks to the question Toyin Odelola says. She says, Funmi mentioned a training course on speaking. Where can you share what?
Yeah, I'm interested in that.
Programs. So it depends on where you are and if you are, how do I put it? Like if you want to do an online kind of course or you want to do a face-to-face physical test. But so depending on what part of the world you are in, I would just recommend that you just Google. You just say speaker training courses or courses to help speaking skills, improving speaking skills. Sometimes, in fact, actually, I think that there is one for a very low price on Udemy. UDME.
Yeah, Udemy. Yeah, very popular site.
Yes. So try that, okay? And then we were talking about evolving. So whatever it is that you need to grow in, where you find that, okay, this thing I can do better here if I have maybe more knowledge or if I have more skills or I'm better equipped, and that will help me in whatever I'm doing. Go ahead and find out, right? And see how you can make the investment in yourself to grow, to evolve in 2021 because you are worth it. We also talked about adaptability. Like I said, you know, that skill you can't avoid it, because there are things that will still happen in 2021. We must be able to adapt to the challenges that the year will throw at us. Normalize the habits that you must embed in your life daily. Journaling, like Bumi has highlighted, and eat, sleep, play, repeat. Very important. It's about quality and quantity. Quality and quantity. Saturate yourself. I wrote it down, so that's what I'm looking at. Saturate yourself with what you actually do want to feast your mind on. Everywhere, every part of your environment, your physical environment, your environment of friends, virtual networks, all that. And then lastly, enjoy the process.